because again, I had a conversation with the chairman, and I was told that if the state released monies for the budget to be able to pay for people to cure the ballots, it wouldn't be a problem. And in fact, suggested that I call the governor. Since then, we have got obviously a grant that you guys approved today for that for the election integrity stuff. So the request that I'm making today is, again, what is the cost for ballot curing here in the county, which has been done throughout the years, and how will this money affect that cost? The next thing is, we heard talk about the cost of litigating, not allowing the ballots to be cured. Will any of this money be used for that? And as such, I'm going to just pass this over to the clerk, because I just want consistent answers. It seems like whenever we have discussions that aren't documented, we get one answer. But when we get documentation for stuff, it changes. We need to make sure that we're being consistent in what we're doing when we're being fiscally responsible for our residents' monies and things like that. And I'm going to take some heat off of you to Miss Oliverio. I'll talk to you later about your streets and stuff like that, because that's not theirs. That's mine. And I take that seriously. And I'm not going to have them get beat up over something that I need to be responsible for. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Next is Cliff Cochran. Mr. Cochran.
Good morning, everybody. I have a newspaper here. Woke up this morning, got the paper, $475 per hour. Been past president of union and negotiations. You're talking about a sweetheart deal. This is pertaining to the vote counting. And I heard you, Mr. Sherman, on the radio the other day that I guess you had a meeting prior to this when I can't remember the word that you used, argument meeting or whatever. And then you said that you were abiding by the law. And reading that law that says what you're supposed to do with the vote counting and where it goes, how it's locked up under lock and key. It seems like you're hanging it on that once those votes are put under lock and key, they're not examined no more to the board. And I'd be the board. Are you three commissioners and director of the election board? Am I correct to say that? And those 259 people that votes were cast out weren't counted. The solution to this problem, I think, would be, why don't the commissioners and the board of directors meet with those individuals prior to opening that box? You don't open the box till after the election, correct? Am I correct on that?
No, it opens at 7 a.m. on election morning.
Oh, well, okay, it's 7 in the morning. Why don't you, the commissioners and the board of directors, why don't you meet, send them notice to those 259 people and say, we're going to open this box up for you to come in and correct what you need to correct, then lock it back up. You're not counting no votes. You lock it back up with you sitting there with these people, just like the committee here, sitting in there, coming up and saying, hey, I'm so-and-so, show their ID, write it, correct it. Instead, you want to pay an individual $475 an hour. This is not counting the expenses for traveling. I think there's a solution to this problem, and I presented it to you. I wish you would think about that and rescind that and count those votes for those individuals. You talk about democracy. Democracy is vote, counting, people voting.
My colleagues have any responses to the public comments?
Solution.
Thank you, Cliff. Appreciate you coming in. Commissioners? The only response that I have then is, again, I appreciate everyone coming in. You know, Mayor, if you're concerned with this, you're an active member of the NAACP. This is the people that are suing us.
Wait a second, I'm a what?
I believe you're an active member of the NAAC.
Yeah, and what's that got to do with
They're-
what I'm saying? I'm not, I have not talked, I don't talk to them.
They're the people suing us, so it's essentially your group, part of the,
Wait a minute,
suing
what
us.
do you
Wait, no.
You had your public chance, I'm responding, if you
But
want
what
to
do you
talk
mean?
next
But you're
week.
making accusations that don't make,
Not an
I
accusation,
will
no.
defend myself with that, Nick.
Nick,
Just because I'm a member, don't mean I'm part of what they got going on. I haven't even talked to them. I've been asked why I haven't been with them with anything like
They
this.
are the ones that are suing us, I would recommend that you speak
well,
to
did you
them.
direct your question to the chairman or the president of that board?
I can't.
Not two black individuals sitting in the audience. Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick.
You're members of this, and I would respectfully.
Who said that we were members?
I would respectfully ask if you're concerned with.
Just because we're black, who said we were members?
You would talk to your board. I know that Jojo for a fact is a member.
I have no, I'll say that
Was
for
I
a fact.
incorrect in that?
But this isn't about my membership affair. It's about what you told me over the phone about what's going on. And that's what everything
So
is
I'm gonna
directed.
Continue to say this.
Go ahead.
The Washington County Board of Elections will continue to abide by the law. I'm going to read you Section 1, Article 1 of Act 77. The very first thing that they talked about when they passed this law for voting, the County Board of Elections shall meet no earlier than 7 a.m. on Election Day to pre-canvass all ballots received. Section 1, Article 1. We will continue to follow the law. If you are not happy with the way this law is set forth, you need to contact your state representative, your state senator, and the governor's office and ask them to change it. We will continue to follow the law here in Washington County, period, the end. If this law changes, there's been plenty of laws that I don't like, that I follow, because I'm sworn to do so. If there's a change in the law, I suggest that we talk to our legislator. In addition to that, if we're not happy with the dollar amount with this, I would suggest that you talk to your regional directors and ask if they're willing to drop this lawsuit. They're more than welcome to meet with their legislators and ask for a change of the law. But there is no state law that usurps this as it sits right now. There's a bunch of decisions that judges make. Judges don't change the law. Only the legislator does. If you don't like the way this sits, you have to get the law changed. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate your partnership on a bunch of projects that we've worked on and will continue to work on. That goes for everyone. I appreciate everyone coming in here, whether you're pro or for what I'm talking to. We'll continue to have these conversations. That's what I'm paid to do as your county commissioner. But we will follow the law in Washington County. Article 1, Section 1 is what has been stated. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Chairman, I respectfully, in response to that, it's the will of the board. It's the majority who chose that. The other part is that's the interpretation. We got all our counties surrounding us are doing it. Apparently they're breaking the law too, is what you're saying. So I respectfully disagree. That's your interpretation. I'm not sure how Commissioner Janice feels about your interpretation of that. I do not agree with your interpretation.
That is not what you said back in May whenever you made this decision. You changed up. Quit talking out of both sides of your mouth and be consistent with what you're saying.
I welcome you to check out this law, read it. I've been on the.
I understand what the law says, Nick, but I'm asking you to be honest with your answers and be direct instead of saying two different things, which is what you've done.
Show up and interrupt your meetings. I'd appreciate you not showing
Well,
up.
I don't show up and and I wouldn't accuse you of being part of an organization to try to justify an argument either. I would respect that.
I thought you were a member there.
I am a member, but that has nothing to do with the information I requested today was off of direct conversations that me and you had, not anything to do with what's going on in that way.
Back to attention, solicitor's report, please.